Cafecito con Gina Balseca es más que un podcast. Es un espacio para la conexión y la comunidad. Acompáñanos en este espacio acogedor.
Muy buenas noches, amigos. Gracias por acompañarnos a otro Cafecito con Gina Balseca. Aquí con mi co-host. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, muy bien.
Muy bien. Y aquí tenemos una amazing artist that I admire so much, Ida Marie.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for coming. What a great honor.
Thank you.
You are an incredible young leader in the community.
Thank you.
I admire you completely because you had a tough growing up.
I did, yes, very much.
And throughout all that, you've been able to succeed, shine, and become the beautiful young lady that you are.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about how was your life like when you were growing up?
Oh, of course. So basically, my childhood was not like any other kind of childhood that I would have wanted to experience. Basically, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder at the age of 2. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, it's just basically an uncontrollable worry about anything and everything.
Oh.
And
so, you know, they do a lot of titles, but 2 years old, it could be just a phase. How did they know that it would be something else?
So basically how it started was I didn't want to go to school was kind of my first thing.
Okay, but there are a lot of kids.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I was like that too.
But something I would do is I would try and make myself sick to the point where I couldn't keep any food down, which also led me to an eating disorder at a very young age. I also had very much separation anxiety from my mom. I wouldn't want to leave her at all. And even doing like normal kid stuff, like going to birthday parties or playing at recess, I would always start to cry because I would just hate being in that environment.
But again, I've seen a lot of kids happening.
Well,
when did they know that it was a little above the norm?
Well, basically, they kind of knew that I wasn't being my normal self because it was almost like I was acting different, like a different person than I was from like being at home, because that was kind of my safe space. So when I wasn't in that safe space, they knew there was something wrong.
Of course. You come across very sweet, but throughout those difficulties, I'm sure that there was hardship. Tell us a little bit about that so our audience can understand a little bit. What is it like to walk your shoes, you know?
Honestly, sometimes you never know what someone's going through, especially when they put on like a big brave and big smile on their face. You never really know when someone's actually going through something very rough. And of course, a bunch of times when I've told this story to many people, like friends or even like family members of like old generations, they don't really believe me because they think,
they don't understand.
They just don't understand. And that's the thing. And I was living in a 3-generation house growing up.
Wow.
So I thank goodness for my mom and my dad and my family who understood that I was going through something and I was not normal. And they took me to go to the doctor and psychiatrist.
You were normal, but you just had some things that were going on that needed to be ironed out.
Right. Yeah. But even living with like my grandmother, she would always tell my mom, you know, she's fine, she'll grow out of it. But my mom and my dad knew that it wasn't something I was going to grow out of, and I needed something that was going to be there for me as a coping mechanism.
So what was that something?
So basically how it started was the arts have been just a huge impact for me, because when I went to the doctor, they put me on medication. They wanted me on medication. And my mom was like, you're so young. Like, that's not the right way to go. She wanted to find something that was going to help me. And so she took me to musical theater class at the community center. And I was 4.
Moms know best.
Mom knows best.
Moms know best.
And it completely changed my life. As soon as I stepped into that class, it was like a whole different person. Everyone has told me when I'm on the stage, because I'm just a very quiet person, like in general, in school and everything.
I've always had something to talk to you about.
No, of course. But people say like when you're on stage, you're just like a different person. And that's just kind of my safe space. It's what makes me not nervous or stressed.
My goodness. Thank God for moms like yours. I admire Kathy so much. And your dad too. Look at him. He's here with us. And thank you for being such a caring parent. You know, I was just thinking, you know, it's so hard for you parents to hear that your kids need a little bit of this or a little bit of that. Aside from going to the art classes, did they have to learn something about the the trials?
Oh, of course, because it was kind of the first time that they've ever experienced this, because I also have a brother, but my older brother never experienced anything like this. So it was really difficult for them, especially for my mom that had to see me, never wanting to leave her, always being scared that she was going to like die in a car accident. I was going to be alone. So obviously it was a lot on my parents, but I appreciate them for being able to adapt to what I was feeling and understanding and actually helping me, because without them wanting to invest in the arts for me, especially today, I would not be where I am speaking like this or even talking about my story without it.
Yes, it's really admirable. I know that you do public speaking throughout schools.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that. What do you talk about? How did you come involved with that? And what is the impact on the kids?
So basically, about 2 years ago, I decided to start my non-for-profit organization called Youth Global.
We have your flyers here.
Yes. They're free empowerment workshops for the youth with a focus on music, dance, and the arts. But really, the main goal of this was to create a safe space for kids, because I know for me, I would have wanted that, and that arts was something for me. But for kids, it doesn't always have to be arts. It's something that can suit for them, whether that's like drawing, or even if just they want to come in and do their homework, or they want to listen to music, just that safe space for them to be able to open up. We are going to have doctors and therapists also there as well.
Have you started already?
Yes,
I know the youth class, but the actual building where they're going to have the
Yes, we're working on renovations right now, but it's coming very soon, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Wow, I really admire you that you're helping the youth to grow, to kind of create that safe environment, because many kids, they maybe don't have that parent support that you had, and I'm really glad you had your parents supporting you through this whole process. But it's really beautiful that you're helping them. I really, really admire you.
Oh, thank you. And honestly, the ministers of mental health and addictions, Minister Tibolo and Minister Leche, they've been super supportive. So honestly, thanks to them.
They've supported us too. Thank you, guys.
Shout out.
Them, you wouldn't have the space for them to offer. And now that you're young, you can give all your energy and you've gone through those hardships, so you understand a lot more than the average person, right?
Yes. And also, I feel like it's better, like, youth talking to youth, because if it were to be like an adult, like, they wouldn't really understand what youth are going through. But because I'm a youth who's experienced what maybe some of the youth out there have experienced, I think it's way better for like development and connections with each other.
Yeah. So have you got a list of people already, or do we need to help you promote the programs?
Honestly, I do have a list, but
wow.
Of course, obviously more would be very nice as well. So
you already have a list. There's a lot of need.
Yes, there's a lot.
I understand about 70% of the kids have been impacted by mental health issues after COVID. And that's a very high number. It's very serious. And we have to be there to support the kids. And that's how this studio started, to be able to have a platform. Even if it's a cozy, small little place where we can talk and have the honor of inviting guests like yourself, where we can learn what are you doing to help those people.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's so good. I know your mom plays a big role, and she's also an advocate for you to go everywhere to perform. So that's so good. I always tell her you're an amazing mom, because you need to do that. Aside from the artist part, are you studying what are your goals towards education?
So I'm on my grade 12 year, so my last year of high school. I know for sure that I want to continue with the arts after school, whether that is either getting my Bachelor of Arts program at York or TMU is what I'm looking at, Toronto Metropolitan. But obviously the main goal here is to go to New York and to go on Broadway.
You told me that.
Yes.
I can't wait to see you. And one day you will be there. When you believe and when you strive and when you work hard at it, you will make it there.
I remember her performance at the Bon Latin Festival. She was a star.
Thank you.
She's got a charm, and you sing with your heart, and that's what makes it special. And your words of your songs, oh my gosh, I was so touched. I was telling Paula how one day I was just sitting and actually listening to the words, because the rhythm of your song is really nice. But when you listen, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think she's talking about stress or
anxiety of course.
or something like that. You're addressing it to her. And that was really impacting me, because I thought, wow, what a great way to bring out your feelings and on something that's hard to address to a lot of people, right? I know Latinos, it's very hard, but I'm sure in the Italians as well, addressing issues like mental health is difficult. How do you cross those bridges?
I think it's different when you're writing a song and kind of talking about it. I think songs are easier because you just get to express all your thoughts and feelings. And actually, it was my first song ever, but writing it, because I was going through the writing process before I went through the music process, it was just super easy to write. It took me like an hour max to just write down everything. So it was a very easy process, but I think conveying that message and kind of talking about it is harder to do than kind of singing about it. But I think this song has impacted me and helped me a lot in so many ways. So I hope when other people listen to it, they feel the same way.
Absolutely. You address some of your experiences with the youth when you go to school and you talk to people. What is it that you talk to them about?
I talk about my personal story and my personal experience, and then how kind of the arts came to be. But I also have a PowerPoint slide that I present at every school board that I go to as well, just to kind of it's kind of Mental Talks 101. That's what it's called. Talk about what mental health is and what to do if you are feeling sad or, you feel a little bit stressed. Because I know school also.
But, stress and sadness it's everybody feels stressed or sad. So what makes it they go, maybe I should get help. So when do you tell the people, when or how to get some help if they need it?
Of course. I feel like it's different for everyone, at least, but I'm sure if you are continuing with the same bad behaviors of like maybe, not eating or putting so much stress on yourself, or even, there's sometimes a lot of people, they might think that they don't deserve to be in this world or they don't feel like they belong. And that's 100% sure that you should get help. A lot of my friends actually, since I came out with my story, they have expressed to me that they do often try, and not saying to hurt themselves in a way that's very unhealthy. And so I never want someone, especially a youth who has so much life ahead of them, to just wanting to end it all, So that's
what do you do? I know they trust you to tell you that, but do you encourage them to go to the hospital, to the police, or?
Well, sometimes most people actually, my friends, their parents don't understand what they're going through at all. They think that, that's just a phase or they'll get out of it. So when they talk to me about that, there's many resources you can go to, whether that's Kids Helpline is a very good resource. There's a guidance counselors at school if you want to talk to them, or if there's a teacher that you really trust, or it could even be a friend like myself or anyone that you feel like safe opening up to about. But usually for me personally, psychiatrists were really that helped me a lot.
But psychiatrists, they have a lot of medications as opposed to, tell me, like, I don't know, like, I'm sure they're helpful psychologists as well, but I found out that they just want to prescribe something, and I don't know if that's the results for everybody.
I mean, for me personally, when I went to a psychiatrist, they never offered me medication. When I told them my story, they gave me coping mechanisms to do a stress ball.
So that you got a good one where they gave you mechanisms of coping. And what is one of the mechanisms? I'm very interested. I think I should have studied this, later on. Maybe I will, because I find it fascinating to be able to help. I got a call from a guy, but very aggressive. I have mental health issues, and I was telling you, Paulita, if we can help him in some way, but he was so rude and so hard. It was hard to help him, right? But I would love to be able to see, refer them to you, to your center, and see that they can get help, because they're all just crying for help, and they all need love and attention. That I know, I think that your mom was very caring and stuff, but when they're big adults, like big youth, it's hard for the mom to hug them. And I always encourage the parents, hug your kids, don't ever feel that they're too big to be hugged because they need it. What other thing that impacted you that could be done by a friend, such as a hug? What else can we do to help someone that's in need?
Honestly, I would say as someone who's experienced needing a friend and also been that friend before, I feel like just even giving them affirmations of text being like, I love you, you're gonna have a good day, I hope you're doing well, or even if it's just a 5-minute conversation and you can ask how their day was, because I'm sure people feel appreciated hearing that. Like they want to hear about my day, they want to hear about my struggles. Just being there for them, even if they don't feel like they want to talk about their day or talk about how they're feeling, but just letting them know that you're here for them, that you want to be there for them, can impact them a lot. And that's helped me a lot as well.
We all need love and attention, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
But as Gina was saying, besides medication, I feel that what they need is a place where they behave. Like this kind of place that you are offering to them.
100%.
Where they can get counseling. I believe counseling is really important, and everybody, you don't have to have mental health issues to go for counseling. There's a stigma somewhere there, but I think that should wave that off and say, no, if something's not going right, I need to get help.
Yes.
Just like with, I don't know, acne or something medically wrong with you. Same thing with if you're not feeling well. And my also advice would be run to God. He's the one that can help you
100%.
and give you a leading hand. Now that you're 17, I think,
17.
what are your mechanisms to be able to help you cope with the next day?
Honestly, something that really works for me is meditation. It might not work for other people because I know it's very much a focused exercise that you have to just stay like content and focused on. But it just helps me to just relieve my thoughts and emotions. Another thing that works is affirmations, daily affirmations. I have a mirror on my room and I just put sticky notes of affirmations I like to read to myself in the mirror because I'm like kind of talking to myself, being like, you are beautiful, you are strong, you're gonna have a good day. I think
you are. It's so hard.
I know.
So hidden.
Of
that
course.
mental health is very hidden because you're glowing, you're gorgeous, you have talent, you have wonderful parents, and I know your brother too. So I think it would be really nice, solid family, and it's hard to believe in a way.
Of course,
someone's going through that, but don't let those smiles, those sweetness, make you feel that everything's okay. There might be something that they need.
Yeah, of course.
And we urge you to please help your kids because it's a serious concern. There's a lot of kids taking their own lives, and I'm
100%.
sure you're familiar with all that. And
I think people need to know that mental health doesn't have an age, a boundary, a certain look. A lot of people think like, oh, you have to look, people say crazy, or you have to act crazy in order to deal with mental health, but it doesn't have an age or boundaries, or it just happens,
I had a personal experience with a young girl. She looked like a Barbie. She was so beautiful, tall, blonde, gorgeous, absolutely flawless. And she came to get some community hours. And so I was giving her some work and I was talking to her. And then she says to me something really scary. She goes, I suffer from schizophrenia. And I just kind of was, because I don't know enough, but I know that it's not, it's a heavy mental health.
Yes, it is.
Right? So I said to her, what is it like? And she says, for example, if a paper falls, I hear that paper has pick up the paper. I'm going to kill you if you don't pick up the paper. And I'm like, wow. And the kids, sometimes they don't know how to reach out and ask for help, you know?
100%.
And like, I learned then that it has nothing to do how you look, because to her, we would love to be like her. She was a Barbie, and yet she probably thinks she's not good enough or she's not pretty enough. And so it really taught me to be aware of what's in the inside as well.
100%.
Talk to your kids. Conversation goes a long way, right?
Yes, 100%. My parents actually own a restaurant called Nove Baci, but spelled like nine baci.
Yes.
Yes, it's in Maple, and we just owned it. We just took place of it 2 years ago. We've been doing amazing things. We do things like karaoke, Latin night. So if you follow us on Instagram, you can just see all the events and when we're open and what we're doing during the week. But I usually sing there on Thursdays and Fridays, but we have stuff like live band. And during the summer, I sometimes help my mom because during school, when I have like my performances and things, I don't necessarily work there. But now that it's summer, I'm starting to work there and help my mom with parties. It's been fun.
So
I like
you're decorating as well. And you guys have been so wonderful to us for Mujeres Latinas Network and their delicious breakfast that you serve.
Delicious.
So I'm forever grateful. Thank you so much for everything you do for the community.
Yeah,
for everything that you are. I admire you. I love you. I think you are incredible. I would love to have that song. I don't know the name of it, but I love that song that you sing. One of your biggest hits.
Yes. My first original song called Today it's on all streaming platforms, and basically it just talks about my struggles with anxiety and how the arts have impacted it for me, because in the song it's saying, you hurt me, you've caused me so much pain, but without you, I wouldn't have found my passion or my true love. So honestly, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship because you put me through a lot.
I thought it was about a guy, but then
it does. It sounds like it's about a guy.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like anything. But it's basically saying like, yes, you hurt me, but at the same time, I thank you because I thank you for making me the person I am today.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be who I am without it, actually. So thank you.
So we can find your music in Spotify too?
Yes, so it's called Ida Maria Carriero. But this song is actually says by Ida Marie. So if you just want to look at Today Ida Marie, you should see it there. But definitely more music's going to be released soon.
So it's Ida Marie. I've been calling you Ida Marie.
No, I know, because in Italian, like I is pronounced E, so that's why. But like people say Ida, so it's okay. Don't worry. But this is the song.
We are ready.
Here you are again, showing up with no invitation. Should I ask how you are, or should I already know? You don't visit often as you used to, and I can't say that I've missed you. You robbed me of so many meaningful times in my life. Today I thank you, I appreciate the little things that I can do. So I say, today I thank you, you made me find strength to myself in a whole new way. Thank you for breaking me down and tearing me apart. It built myself up and become a fighter. Today I thank you. Today I thank you. Ooh, 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 ooh. So the rest is on Spotify.
Oh my gosh. Thank you
so much for
for
coming.
Thank you for changing the world one song at a time.
Thank you.
And
so
I know
much.
you can achieve your goals and your dreams of being one day in Hollywood. I told you then, and I'm telling you now. You have the greatest, sweetest voice, and you should be recognized all over the world.
Yeah,
so much.
and
God
keep
bless
doing what
you.
you're doing.
Yes, God
Thank you
bless
for having me. I love being here. This is great.
Well, this is your place until you have your own.
Yeah, of course.
And even then, you can still come here.
Of course.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
What a
you.
great privilege. Amigos, mire qué linda, qué tierna que es que cuando tenemos un poco de enfermedades, challenges, podemos hacer la diferencia para otras personas. Así que gracias por acompañarnos y nos vemos en otro segmento de Cafecito con Gina Balseca. Gracias.
Bye.
Gracias.